So this is my original owner 1970 Honda US90 three-wheeler. So I've had a couple videos so far on this. This was a true barn find. I bought it from the original owner, pulled it out of his barn. His dad actually bought it new in 1970 here in Nebraska. Actually, a local dealer, doesn't exist anymore, but I went to this place, pulled it out of the barn. It had been sitting for like 15 years. And the previous video, or first video, I showed pulling out of the barn, kind of an original walkthrough. And then the second video, I got this thing running and driving again. And here, I'm pretty much done with it. So I've kind of detailed it and kind of finished up a few things on it. Really, the main challenge was getting it running, which really just was a matter of going through the points and cleaning up those to get spark back and then going through the carb. One thing that really fought me were these tires. So the guy had it on blocks, and he thought the tires would be good. We put some air in them right away and rolled on the trailer. By the time we got back to the shop, they were all flat. They ended up having some dry cracking on the sides, and I've kind of been fighting them and stuff. Really, the worst one would be this one and then the front one there. So what I ended up doing on it was kind of a combination of some sidewall patches with some adhesive, and then I kind of coated it back over with some little, it's kind of some rubbery paint sort of thing to kind of blend it back in, as well as adding plenty of slime. So I finally got them to basically hold, but they were pretty bad. I mean, pretty much cracked all the way through the side. So, man, if somebody's got a better way to fix them or something, I'm all ears. But they seem to be holding air good enough for right now. Would I really trust them to go on a big long ride or something? Probably not, but I think they're good enough just to kind of show, since they're the original tires and everything. So let's walk through this thing a little bit. So this thing's unrestored. I have not touched anything cosmetically other than just a little bit of detailing. So there are a few imperfections. There's a couple little cracks on the fenders there, which these are all fiberglass on these. Some sort of paint residue or something there that got spilled on it. See, it's got a couple little tears in it, which he said at some point they kind of tried to sew these back together. And there's another little stitching right there. But yeah, that's all the original leather and stuff. Still got the Honda emblem on the back. Tank was in decent shape. It wasn't too rusty. There were a couple little pinholes down here. These were little rust spots that had a couple pinholes. I did fix this just with a little bit of JB Weld. Didn't do anything crazy, so it's still in the kind of the original patina, but it seals now. Engine and everything's all untouched. So these are a 4-speed transmission, kind of unlike the newer three-wheelers and ATVs and stuff, where normally you would click up to go into gear, neutral's all the way up on these, and you got 4 gears down on this. There's also a little gear indicator there right there, so I'll click back up, first gear, so neutral, first, second, third, fourth. Let's roll it there. These also have a full low range, so down underneath here we've got a little selector for a high and a low range on it. Pull start only on these. The petcock is built into the carburetor itself. Also, something kind of unique about these, there's this little altitude adjustment. It says for over 6,000 feet, pull that, which it must lean it up a little bit if you do that, which kind of a unique feature. So on these, they also have metal front fender. There's kind of a quick release for the whole front steering column. Supposedly, you're supposed to be able to collapse these down pretty easy. Another crazy thing about this buy is that it came with all the paperwork. So we've got the original MSO for this, still in the original envelope. Everything's signed back there and stuff. So yeah, this was sold new at Sportsman's Hangout in Kearney, Nebraska. We've got the little user or manual here, as well as the owner's manual, toolkit. He told me this was the original replacement spark plug that came with it. But yeah, these owner's manuals and everything are basically in new condition, which is just kind of crazy. These guys, they just kind of was type of people that held on to everything and took care of it. And especially, like I said, the guy I got it from, his original owner was his dad, and his son was the same way, where they just kind of took care of stuff and knew the importance of that. Like I said, it sat for about 15 years, but he was kind of aware of the value and stuff and uniqueness of this machine, so he kept it up on blocks and tried to keep it in the best condition that he could. So these owner's manuals and stuff, they literally look like brand new. I don't know if they've ever really been opened. Pretty crazy. Well, I think we should start this thing up and we'll go for a little drive on it. So we've got it in the high range right now. We're in first gear, second gear. It feels a little sluggish, which might be the age of the motor. It might be a little tired. I might be a little too heavy for it. My tires might be a little too flat still. But yeah, we're in second gear here. It doesn't really want to rev up much more. There's third gear. Back to first. Yeah, I'm like full throttle right now in second gear. Kind of tempted to try it back in the low range and see if it got a little more pep. Alright, back to neutral. We're going to flip this down here. Okay, so now we're in the low range. Still have 4 gears. Second gear, third gear. Fourth gear. I mean, it seems more happy in the low range for sure. Brakes. Well, should we try off-road over here? It's kind of starting to rain here a little bit, kind of some freezing rain. And I think somebody got in an accident over there. I heard all the fire whistles and stuff before. Oh, we're bouncing over these ruts. We're putting these tires to work. Honestly rides softer than like the newer 3-wheelers with normal tires on it. We're fourth gear here, pretty much topping it out low. I don't know what top speed is supposed to be at on these things. I'm guessing, you know, if this motor was nice and fresh, these tires I could keep nice and hard, fresher, it'd probably do like 35 maybe or something like that. Maybe I'm too heavy for this thing too. I'm guessing back in the day, they probably designed this more for about like a 150-pound rider or so, and where I'm about 220-ish. We'll go over here. There's a little bit of a hill. We'll climb up this hill, and then we'll go back to the shop because I'm starting to get cold. All right, we'll go up this little hill here. Alright, first gear, first low, climbing. We made it. Alright, I think we'll call it good here. If we're up brakes on it or I pop a tire. Ruts. Alright, and we're back. Kill it, and we're off. Well, overall I think I'm done with this. I don't really want to restore it. I want to keep it in its original condition. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep it or sell it, so maybe if I get the right offer on it, I definitely sell it. So if you're interested in something like this, reach out to me. All right, follow along for the next build and project and whoever knows what else I'm going to get into.